Welcome back to another video. Matt Derbyshire has signed for Bradford City. Basically the 2nd January signing. He's a striker, very experienced, and he gives a lot of much needed experience to the team. 36 years of age. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below of the signing of Matt Derbyshire. He's played games in the Premier League, played games in the Championship, obviously played with Mark Hughes at Blackburn as well early on in his career. And I'm pretty sure that we wanted him in the summer. He got linked in the summer, but the one didn't seem to be much in it. Then we went on to get Vidane Oliver and Jake Young and Howard, and then it seemed to go away. He's been playing in the Indian League this season. I think he's played 8 games in the Indian League for who is it? North East United. Played 8 games, got 1 goal. He's played at Onama and MacArthur. He's been in Australia and I don't even know where that team is, and India. He's been around Europe and the world in the last few years. And then before then, he was Rotherham, Notts Forest, obviously played at Blackburn, Birmingham, Oldham, Blackpool. Very much of a journeyman striker, and like many of these strikers, when they come to Bradford City in January, it brings that journeyman striker feel to it. But he's very experienced, 506 games, 173 goals, and I think that's what we need. We've got strikers in the club like Oliver, who's 30, Andy Cook, 32, relatively experienced strikers. But then we've got your Jake Youngs, who obviously Mark Hughes don't trust. And obviously there must have been something in this signing that we wanted in the summer, because now we've gone and got him. So obviously Mark Hughes wanted him. He'll probably be on quite. This is just a guess. He'll probably be paid quite well to be here. So Rupp's obviously backing him for the back end of the season, to have a big push towards promotion. So I think if he is on big wages, and I would suspect that he is, we've got to praise Rupp again for backing Mark Hughes, because obviously he's managed with him before, and he's obviously a player who he wants. But he was at Blackburn for 4 years. Played in Greece with Olympiacos, played in the Champions League a couple of times with them, played 14 games in the England under 21s, but he did say it feels great to be here. It has actually been a long time coming, because we thought it would initially happen in the summer, but I'm here now and looking forward to getting started. So he's confirmed now that there was something in it in the summer. I've had the best time in football working under Mark Hughes and when we were at Blackburn Rovers, so I'm looking forward to being with him and Glyn again. I've been lucky enough to play in the Premier League and Champions League, so I'm looking to bring that experience here and help Bradford City in whichever way I can. I look to play off the shoulder and getting behind as much as I can. I love scoring goals, so want to do that and help the team win as much as possible. I cannot wait to get here and play in front of the wonderful supporters. Hopefully we can get some good wins on the board and keep giving them something to cheer for. The gaffer is very ambitious and has been throughout his playing and managerial career, so coming here I want to do what the best I possibly can to help the club get promoted. So obviously he's been with Mark Hughes before, so they have that relationship and understanding. He just said he brings experience and he wants to run off the shoulder. And I think this signing also goes to show that Mark Hughes is probably going to be sticking with that diamond that he played on Thursday night, and will probably be looking to play 2 up top. He said he wants to play off the shoulder, so probably Oliver will be playing more. I do think Oliver will be playing more as a starting striker, and Andy Cook will probably become more of a backup striker to him. I think Derbyshire will be starting quite a bit, but when you've got players like Banks and Wright who are quite versatile, they can probably play off the shoulder a bit to a degree. I think he will be quite heavily rotated with them, because he's 36. I think he's 37 in April, so he's getting on a bit. But we've had older players come to a club before who have been fantastic for us, worked really well. We've wanted them. We've then gone on to say, well, it would have been great if we could have them a few years before, and it's gone in the other direction where we've had older players who have come to a club and they've been terrible, and a waste of time and a waste of money, because these experienced players who have been around the game a lot tend to come at quite a cost. But Mark Hughes said we're thrilled to be welcoming Matt to the club as we continue to add to our squad ahead of the start of the January transfer window. He's a good professional and a good player. I've known for a very long time, who has had great tenacity to everything he has done throughout his career and scored goals everywhere he's been. Matty is vastly experienced in the game, both up and down the footballing pyramid here in England and also on foreign shores. He'll give us great energy to a top end of a pitch. We tried to get the move done in the summer, but could not quite make that happen. We have been patient and his circumstances have changed, so we are pleased to be able to bring him in now. We will bring quality and invaluable experience to our dressing room, as well as added depth in our forward department. I'm sure you will join me in wishing him a warm welcome to Bradford City, and we look forward to involving him in training over the coming days. He'll officially join Bradford City on the 9th of January 2023, so we've got Salford on the 1st, so maybe in 2 or 3 games in it as well, but then he'll probably be welcomed on the bench and get that match sharpness up, because I don't know when India last played, but it might have been quite a while, but they've got to cancel his contract and stuff like that, so it might be a bit of a while until we see Matt Derbyshire play at Valley Parade. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's quite interesting to think, well, why didn't he come in the summer? Was it because, Howard was here, of course, Oliver came in? Did he think, well, Howard were a better option, and Jake Young? I think that probably means Jake Young will be going out on loan. Obviously, I don't fancy him. I don't know what the Indian Super League's like. I don't know when it starts or finishes. I don't know if it has finished or if it's just started. But he's only played 8 games for them so far this season, if it's still ongoing. But it's a weird one, because he's played 561 minutes this season, but how many of that's off the bench? How many of that's starting? How fit is he? But from what I know and what I'm currently thinking, he seems like the striker we need, someone who will run behind the target man and give us something different. We've got Cook and Oliver, and there are 2 recognised strikers, really. Because Jake Young's probably going out on loan, like I said, and they don't fancy him. So we definitely probably needed another striker if we stick him in a 2-up, and he gives us something different. But yeah, I don't know what the Indian Super League's like, and I don't know how to judge it. But I'd gather from the little I know, is that it's probably League 2 standard. So if he's been playing consistently well at League 2 standard, then he might be all right. But again, it's very unknown. But so far this season, I trust our scouts. I trust that gent guy we brought in from Middlesbrough. We've signed some very good players on loan, and some players who we wouldn't necessarily have gone for before. And obviously, I trust Mark Hughes in the players he wants to bring in. And it's obviously a Mark Hughes signing, because why else would he bring a player in who he's also worked with before? But yeah, it gives us something different, and hopefully he hits the ground running whenever he plays. But let me know your thoughts on it. Yes, he's an older player, but yes, he brings much needed experience to a team, because when you look at it, it is a very young squad and it needs a bit of leadership. The last few games, with them 4 games that we lost, it really came clear that Smallwood's a good captain. I believe that. Being going to be someone who's going to rally the team forward and motivate them. Maybe this guy will do that, but his experience, will hopefully show. But with him being that maybe big name, let's hope it doesn't rock the dressing room. But let me know what you think. To summarise, I think it's a good signing. Again, much needed experience. Gives us something different up front, and let's hope we can get a few goals. And I think it is a big signing, because from the goals I've seen, the very limited goals I've seen, he seems to hit some bangers as well. So let's hope he's our type of player. Let's get behind him, and let's hope he can join us for a late promotion push. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have a good one.